Hey everyone, Sophia here from My Great Challenge. Welcome back to my channel. I'm a hot mess. It's Friday evening. I just got back from work and realized that I did not film the intro and the outro for my AceKool stand mixer video. So here goes. This company took pity on me and my 1967 Sunbeam stand mixer and sent me a brand new stand mixer, and I'm very excited because if you've watched the other videos that I've done about me cooking with a stand mixer, I have never had one before. The Sunbeam that I found at Goodwill is just a mixer. Well, it only whips, basically. It only has one attachment. This one's got plenty of attachment, including dough attachment, the dough hook, and I've decided to do a video that's mostly going to be me cooking, less talking, I guess, or well, at least less of my face and more of the equipment and the cooking. So what I did for my first recipes with it was challah bread, which I had never made before, and I did pretty good with the braiding at the end, you'll see that. And I also made chocolate mousse with whipped cream because I wanted to see how each attachment worked. So this is actually a really neat gizmo and gadget that a lot of you already have in your home. You may not be able to afford, like me, the KitchenAid super duper stand mixer that's way too much money. So it's like a car payment basically for that KitchenAid stand mixer. This one is under $120. You can follow the link down below. And without further ado, I'm going to show you what it looks like, how it works, my two recipes, and then I'll see you at the end. I hope you enjoyed this video. So you're looking at the AceKool. Apparently it's a European brand that is now sold in the US stand mixer, and it's very similar to the regular run-of-the-mill KitchenAid that a lot of you have. It has the same 10 speed. This one is a 7.5 quart, which is quite big. The only difference is that the bowl is not attached on its own bracket, so it's not tilting, but the bowl is still very easy to remove. It's all metal. It has all the attachment that you need. The initial attachment that you get is the regular whisk, so this one is for egg whites or whipped cream, and then you get the regular mix paddle, and by the way, this is metal, not plastic. And the third one they give you, again in metal, not plastic, is the dough paddle. So I'm going to use all three pretty much today. And you also get a dust cover that you would install right here above, so that way you don't get the splatter, and they give you the cover. Okay, so when you put your bowl in place and you lower this, you can install your little splash cover over it, so that way nothing's splattered all over the place. And then you can also put this on if you want to protect it even more from dust. Let's say, for instance, that you leave it on your counter. It's fairly easy to use. This is a no-brainer. It has the 10 speed. So the first speeds, the up to 4, is just regular mixing. Dough would be 4 to 7, and then anything 8, 9, or 10 is for whipping, something that you need to be really, really aerated. So you just turn the knobs and that's it. And how do you dislodge this whole thing? You follow the arrow right here, and it will pull out. So you just push this right here, turn it, and it comes out. And if you want to change and just add this one, you look for the little dent that's right here, and you match it with the dent that's in the back, and you push it and turn it, and it's in place, and just lower it, and that's it. So I'm gonna run it on dry with nothing in it right now, because I'm sure you want to see how loud it gets. So here goes. Okay. All right, so it's a little loud, but you know, you're cooking, so no problem. And then the cool thing about it is that it is on suction cups right here at the bottom, so you can just give it a good press. And when you have a very thick dough, your mixer is not going to bounce all over your counter. I think it looks really sleek, and I can't wait to start it. So what are we going to make first? Challah bread. So today I'm going to use a recipe I found on Whisk and Whimsy, a baker's journal, and this is called Jackie's Challah bread. I have to tell you, the website is absolutely glorious. They have beautiful pictures. Very, very nice website, and I'll put the link down below so you can go and check it out. I've never made challah bread before, so this is going to be very interesting. Well, actually, I'm lying. I made it once in the bread machine, but this one I'm going to make in the oven. So I'm going to tell you what the ingredients are, and we're going to get baking. So I'm going to start by making the sponge, and that's basically the starter rising dough. And for that, I just need 1 cup of bread flour, 2.5 teaspoons of fast rising yeast. It's basically the entire pack, and 1.25 cup of lukewarm water. And you're going to just mix all those ingredients inside the bowl. Use the mixing paddle and let it sit for 10 minutes. So I'm going to start by putting my flour in, add my yeast and the water, and let's see what this mixer does. And here are the ingredients for the dough. You need 2 large eggs, 1/4 cup of granulated white sugar. This is 1/4 cup of light brown sugar, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, 1/4 cup of canola or vegetable oil. You'll need 1 tablespoon of honey, and I'm almost out of honey actually. This one is very good. I bought it at the World Market. Betsummer honey. This is the honey, natural 100% from Austria. Very good. And you need 3 to 4 cups of bread flour, and I've put 3.5. So all you have to do for now is add all of these ingredients to the sponge that has been sitting for 10 minutes, plus 1 cup of flour. And then we'll start incorporating more of the flour. And a tablespoon of honey. And lower it. I'm gonna mix that for a little bit before I start with my first cup of flour. Alright, so I just stopped it a little bit. I'm just gonna go ahead and add my first cup of flour and go back to mixing. And basically what I'm doing is interrupting the process to add 1 cup of flour at a time until I have all the flour inside the bowl. And once the dough starts to struggle a little bit, this is when you want to change your paddle. So I'm just going to use, you guys told me to buy these, by the way. So I'm just going to remove the dough that I have on this mixing paddle right here. So yes, I did invest in some silicone spatulas. So thank you for the tip. They are really, really cool. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and change paddle. And now I'm going to do the dough paddle. Okay, and add the rest of my flour in there. And I'm going to put it on the dough cycle for about 10 minutes until I get an actual dough ball. So it's been 10 minutes. This looks like it's shifting, well, not shifting, it's not moving, but it looks like it's being shaken quite a bit. But I'm going to assume that's because of the thickness and the heaviness of the dough. So what I'm gonna do is remove the paddle. And here is my dough. And I'm going to place it. There we go. Make a big ball out of it. And I'm going to place it inside a bowl that has oil in it, vegetable oil. I want to make sure that the oil is on all sides. Just make a ball. And I'm just going to cover the bowl with a plastic wrap. And all I have to do now is let this rise for 1 full hour. I'll be right back. So it's been an hour, a little bit over an hour, and this is almost in double sides. So what I'm going to do now is the fun part. I'm going to divide this dough into 6 parts, and we're going to make almost like 6 rolls, like baguettes, right? And this is the part where I'm going to roll or braid the dough as a big bread to shape my challah bread. And once that's braided and I put it on my cookie sheet, it will have to rise for another hour. And one of the easiest way to do this is just to continue to cut it in half. So here I have 2 and it's 6 strands. Alright, so here is, and you want your dough to be very elastic, by the way. Okay, so this one I gotta cut into 1/3. So here's 1, 2 and 3. And try to do the best to keep them the same size. 4, 5 and 6. There we go. I'm going to put those to the side because I'm not working with them yet. I'm going to take each one and roll it. And as I'm rolling, I'm moving my hands to the outside. You're going to get some bubbles here and there. You want to empty those. And you'll notice that eventually they're going to shrink. That's all right. You just stretch them a little bit more. Okay, so here's 1. To another one. And you want to keep them the same length. Okay, so I have 6. They're about the same size. And again, you can stretch them a little bit more if you want. And if they shrink, you just pull them. Okay, so let's braid it. We're gonna start by putting them all together at the end right here. So I'm just gonna gather them right here, bunch them together, kind of roll it and tuck it under like this. And the first thing I want to do is stick the one on the outside and bring it all the way to the other side, and I take the one that's on the outside and bring it all the way on the other side. I want to tighten it a little bit like this. Okay. Then I'm going to separate these. I'm going to do 2 here and 2 on this side. Okay. And I'm ready to braid. So, what do? Easy. I'm going to take this one and I'm going to bring it right here next to these 2 and then bring this one over. So I basically replaced it. Then I'm taking this one and I'm going to bring it right here in the middle. I'm going to take this one and replace it. If I keep those 2 separate like this, you'll see that better. Then I'm going to take this one back, put it right here in the middle, and then replace it. Then take this one, put it in the middle, and replace it. And once you get to the end, you gather them together and tuck it right under. Alright, I can reshape it a little bit. And here we go. So all I have to do is take my cookie sheet with parchment paper, I'm going to take a new piece of plastic wrap and I'm going to wrap my dough and we need 2 pieces. Recover it and I'm going to let it rise for another hour. So it's been a little bit over an hour and here is my loaf having gone through its second rise. Look at this. Doesn't it look great? Oh, it smells so good. So what I did was beat 1 egg and I'm just going to do an egg wash over my challah bread. And you know, I use 2 eggs for the bread itself. If you want, you can use just 1 egg and keep the second egg for the egg wash at the end. So altogether right now I have 3 eggs, 2 inside and 1 I'm putting on top. And this is gonna go in the oven at 350 degrees, but not for long, 35-40 minutes at best, until it's golden brown basically. And all you need is some Kerrygold butter or some delicious spread fruit jam. or even goat cheese if you have it. And this would be perfect. And challah bread, by the way, is the one that they use to make French toast with. So if I have leftover, I may make French toast. In the oven it goes for at least 30 minutes or until nice brown and golden on top. So now I'm ready to do a chocolate mousse. And for the chocolate mousse, all you need is 1.5 cup of whipping cream, 1/4 cup of dark powdered chocolate. And for chocolate, I'm using the Van Houten. This is like my childhood chocolate. Here's another one of those little treasures that I found at the World Market, but I'm sure you can get it online. This is 1/4 cup of granulated sugar. You will need a 1/2 tablespoon of vanilla extract, the same amount, 1/2 tablespoon of bourbon. This is optional, you don't have to use bourbon. I bought this bottle for Scott for his birthday, and he actually does like it, so pretty good. And you will need 6 eggs separated. I'm only actually using egg whites, so you need 6 egg whites. First things first, I have to boil my cream so that I can add the chocolate, the sugar, the vanilla extract, and the bourbon. So let's get started. I love chocolate mousse. Okay, I'm doing a medium heat. I'm just gonna go ahead and add my 1.5 cup of whipping cream. And again, since I now have spatulas, there is no waste. Okay. And I'm going to continue to stir. I'm going to bring it to a semi-boil. I don't want it to boil over. So I need to watch my cream here because I also don't want it to burn. But just give it a gentle stir as it's heating up. And while it's heating up, I'm just going to go ahead and add my sugar and keep stirring that in. Eventually the sugar is going to melt. Add a tablespoon of vanilla. You can do a 1/2 tablespoon if you don't want that much. Same thing with the bourbon. Just a tablespoon. And again, bourbon is optional. So I can feel that the sugar is already melted. No more granules. We're going to let it continue to heat up. So I'm starting to see a little bubbling here and there. Got to continue to stir because you don't want to burn the bottom. I'm just going to go ahead and add my chocolate and give it a good stir. Mix everything. Until I have a nice mix and a creamy-like texture. And then I'm going to set it to the side and let it cool off. And when it cools down, I'll just go ahead and make my egg whites. If you have a double boiler, you can use semi-sweet chocolate or dark chocolate that's in chunks, or you can use chocolate chips. It's gonna go into a boil, and I don't want it to boil. So you stop it right before it goes into a boil. There we go. So it has to cool down. You can't add the egg whites to this cream yet because that would be way too hot and it would flatten them. So let's go ahead and make egg whites. So I'm going to use my AceKool stand mixer to fluff my egg whites and make them nice, soft and peaky. First thing I need to do is separate them. So I'm going to put the egg whites directly into the 7 1/4, I think, or 7 1/2 quart bowl. There we go. Do that for all 6. Gonna add a little bit, a pinch of salt. Put that in. I want to make sure I lock it. There we go. And for egg whites, obviously, it's got to get fluff. It's just like whipped cream, and we want a higher speed, so we're going to go all the way to 10. Wow, nice and fluffy. Let's look at it. Wow, look at that. Nice peak. I think they are perfect. So I have my egg whites done. What I'm going to do is bring this back down, and I'm going to put it on the lowest setting and start incorporating my chocolate cream that I've just finished and let it cool. And now, all I gotta do is let it set in the fridge for a couple of hours. Actually, it's gonna be more like 4 to 5 hours, but here's the beginning of chocolate mousse. And so I'm gonna put it in a container, and that's gonna go straight into the fridge. Was that cool or what? I really like it. It is loud, okay? I have to be really honest. I have no idea how the other ones sound on the market. This is really my first experience with a full, new and fully equipped stand mixer. It is a little loud. But I guess if you're cooking and, you're using appliances, it is what it is. So that would be a minus for me. It is quite loud. The bowl is very tall and, you got to maneuver it. But once you get a hang of it and you got the right dexterity and technique to put the bowl back in and all of that, it's really, really neat. I have to tell you, this was the best challah bread I ever had. And I'm a big fan of challah bread. It lasted less than 48 hours in the house. It was on the dining room table. Everybody would pass by the dining room table and pretty much get a slice of it, including me. Yes, that's right, I have no shame. It's heavy bread. That thing was like 7 pounds at least. I mean, it was just like huge. I made a very big bread. The chocolate mousse didn't set by the time I showcased it to you, so it was still a little kind of, I'm not going to say fluid, because it was, you know, kind of like a pudding, more like a substance, but it was absolutely delicious. Very rich, deep chocolate taste, so I recommend both recipes. I definitely loved the whipped cream. Oh, it was so thick and delicious, and you don't have to put a lot of that confectioner's sugar in it. Just a good, you know, couple of tablespoons in it, that's enough, just to give it enough of a sweet taste but not overpowering. So it's really cool. So I give it an A. It's not an A+ because of the sound and the maneuverability of the bowl itself. So if I have a coupon or a discount, I'll plug it in down below. Check them out. It's very inexpensive. Again, this is like under $120, which I think is not bad at all for a 10-speed stand mixer. It did a really good job. It fluffed my egg white super fast. They were peaking, and they would be perfect for meringue actually. So I'm going to keep it, and I'm going to continue using it. And what am I going to do with the sunbeam now? I'm going to keep it too. How about that? Because I think it looks really cool. I like the retro look. This one actually comes in different colors. You can get it in red, I believe, and you can get it in silver to go with your other appliances. I just happened to get the black one. So that was my review, but mostly demo and cooking of challah bread and chocolate mousse using the AceKool stand mixer. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, the corner right here, and follow me on Instagram and Facebook at My Great Challenge. I will see you next time. Thanks for watching, you guys. Bye. Hey, it's me, and guess what? Click that thumbs up if you really like this video. Thumbs down twice if you didn't. You can also share my video if you really liked it, or save it to watch later. Also, you can subscribe to my channel, but don't forget to click that bell button so you are always notified when I post a new video. Thank you for watching.